So glad you're joining us for this episode of the Tech Vibe Radio One Mic Stand. This is Jonathan Kirsting with the Pittsburgh Tech Council and, of course, Tech Vibe Radio. And I've just been so impressed because as we've been going through all this craziness the past 4 or 5 weeks, the good stories just keep popping up. And I get really excited when I see big old tech companies like Facebook stepping up to the plate and really trying to help small businesses, help small communities, because these small businesses are part of these little communities, and it's just without them, there's no richness to life as far as I'm concerned. So we're talking to Diana Dukas today from Facebook. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us, Diana. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So I was going to jump right into this. I mean, everyone knows what Facebook is all about. If you don't, then you've been living under a gigantic rock for a very long time. But what people may not know is just how much Facebook is really trying to give back to communities. And what I love is you guys are going hyper local on this as well, too, like we were doing with this small business program. And you've just targeted some big dollars for Pittsburgh, which you think is really excited. Maybe just give us a quick little overview of what all Facebook is doing these days in this regards, and then we'll jump into what's happening here in Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. So we've been very active in trying to support and connect communities during this COVID crisis. Obviously, as you mentioned, we're all experiencing something very different and finding ways to, one, connect with each other during this social isolation, but then also how do we bring some levity and use and leverage even our tools to be able to bring people together. And so we're very proud that our platform has been able to do that. I think you've seen people really use the platform in very creative ways.
Absolutely. That's been so cool.
Yeah. Well, whether it's hosting online concerts or dance parties or using the Facebook groups to connect with individuals who have similar interests to create masks for hospital workers and healthcare workers through a sewing group. You're really seeing people come together to really, do the best by society. And so what we're trying to do is provide, again, these platforms and opportunities for people to do that. As you mentioned, small businesses are the backbone of our economy. And as soon as we saw that the COVID crisis was going to have an impact, although I'm not sure we could have predicted how much so.
Who could have? I mean, seriously,
exactly.
It's
but we knew that we had to do at least our part to help sustain and support the community as much as we could. Absolutely. So about a month and a half ago, our COO, Cheryl Sandberg, announced a $100 million grant program across the globe for the small business community, which has allowed us in the U.S. to appropriate funds to our locations where we have offices and data centers, and really concentrate where our employees live and operate. And Absolutely. So Pittsburgh, we are so glad and proud to be part of the Pittsburgh community and consider ourselves a Pennsylvania business.
We like that, absolutely.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I went to school across a little down the road at Villanova. So
awesome.
Glad to support Pennsylvania. But for Pittsburgh specifically, we've been able to allocate $175,000 to the small business community through this grants program.
It's amazing. I love that. That is just so impactful right now. So tell me a little bit more about how people access these grants and who's eligible and what they can be used for, all the good fun details.
Great. So applications are open. So I certainly recommend everyone who's watching to please go to facebook.com/grants4business, all spelled out, to start the application process. And so a couple of bits about the application and the eligibility. You do need to be a for-profit entity.
Okay.
You do need to employ anywhere between 2 and 50 employees. And I should say, if you're the owner or founder, please consider yourself as part of that tally.
You count as one, right?
Yes.
Very good.
You do need to communicate with us about how COVID has impacted your business.
Okay.
I am very proud to say that we are placing a special emphasis on minority and women-owned businesses.
Excellent.
Knowing that it is often very challenging to have access to capital generally. ever so more during a crisis.
Gotcha.
Our application is available in Spanish fully, as well as English and guides in other languages. And the application is open for 2 weeks. So it's open now for the Pittsburgh area. It closes May 8th.
Okay.
But
Good.
wanting to assure folks that it is not on a first come, first served basis. So
Interesting. Okay, good. So you know that like you can plead your case, and it's not just a matter of the order in which you pleaded your case.
That's exactly right. So whether you were the first applicant in the region or you wait to the very last minute, everyone will be adjudicated at the same time.
Very cool. Interesting. So what will the time frame be for getting back to folks and letting them know if they got a grant or not?
Sure. So we are going to take extreme care to make sure that we're getting the funds and resources into the hands of the community. We do expect it to be a little bit over a month. But we are looking to do our best to get resources.
I mean, it's a lot of work for you guys. I mean, you have to you're carefully reading through these applications, and you know that takes a lot of human eyes, a lot of time, and considering as far as that goes. So yeah, that's interesting.
Well, we're very lucky to be partnering with a third-party vendor named Eureka, who is helping us manage this process.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. And then is there a particular size of grants that are being given out? Does it vary by size, or is it like the same amount per ask?
So it's the same for every business who receives a grant, and it's actually broken down between cash and ad credits. And so the award is $2,500 in cash, and then $1,500 in optional ad credits. And I say optional because you do not have to be a member of the Facebook family or use our services to be eligible for this grant. So
that's got to be a rare instance if someone's not part of that. I would hope that if someone got a grant, they would maybe want to join the platform at that point and come out from that rock, right?
Well, we do know that businesses, across the board are being affected, not just those who work with us and use our services. So we wanted to make sure that all eligible small businesses have access. So the award again is $2,500 in cash and then $1,500 in optional ad credits.
Very cool. So, I mean, you can reach a lot of businesses with that here in Pittsburgh that I know would do a lot of good in helping them keep their doors open and be ready to spring back and use some of those ads in order to reach more and new customers as they do this. It's just like such a great story all the way around. Anything else that Facebook is doing outside of this? I'm sure you guys are doing a million different things in order to help not just Facebook employees, but all of your users getting through this really difficult time.
Absolutely. So we've been trying to help across the board. So to continue on the small business front, we've also developed a business resource hub. And so you can go to facebook.com/business and you can find a resiliency toolkit. You can find free online curriculum on digital marketing. And so you can better understand or better leverage our platforms if you use them. We also have some sector by sector guides. So whether you're in retail or a restaurant or already e-commerce, we have some sector guides, specific guides to help you navigate this very challenging time. And then additionally, we've created something called our Faith Hub, which allows members of the faith community to find their community online and worship together. We know especially that communities of faith are where so many feel connected in that feeling of community. So wanting to help facilitate that as much as we can. We've created something called a Symptom Survey through our Data for Good project, which allows as opt-in, an individual would be prompted, but to share your symptoms so that we can help health officials and researchers really track the virus and provide as much data as possible for this. I should say that we developed that with privacy top of mind, so it's anonymized data,
of course.
But allowing to make sure that our partners at Carnegie Mellon are able to help track the virus. And we're working on other ways to support. We have an information support center. We have a community help function. We're really trying to continue to figure out additional ways to help support communities.
Absolutely. That's why I just love being able to tell these stories because, man, tech always steps up. And Facebook has become such a big part of Pittsburgh with the reality labs opening up here in Pittsburgh and employing more and more people. Like, yeah, Facebook's a Pittsburgh company, man, all the way through. We're so glad to have you guys here. It warms my heart to know you guys are doing some great work to help our small businesses here and around the globe. It's amazing stuff all the way around. Is there anything that we haven't covered that's important for us to get out?
We're going to continue to figure out and listen to our users on how additionally we can support the community. So
Great.
thank you for having us in Pittsburgh and
Absolutely.
for the time today.
Good stuff. I can't thank you enough for taking the time. I'm looking forward to getting this out there and people learning, hopefully applying for some of these grants and getting them. And continue watching Facebook kick butt here in Pittsburgh is always a joy. And I look forward to more of that. That's for sure. Thank you so much, Diana. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.